All right, Janet, thank you very much. We'll look forward to that at the top of the hour. In the meantime, some brand new reaction to an interesting move made by Democrats. Fox News can now confirm that the DNC has indeed asked the Pentagon to provide piles of information on potential challengers to President Obama in 2012. Here are those Republican contenders. Some familiar names, of course: Sarah Palin, Mitt Romney, Governor Tim Pawlenty, and Governor Haley Barbour. And here, former Speaker of the House Newt Gingrich, South Dakota Senator John Thune, Indiana Governor Mitch Daniels, and Louisiana Governor Bobby Jindal is on the list as well. Karen Hanratty is a former communications director for the National Republican Congressional Committee, and Bernard Whitman is a former pollster to President Bill Clinton. So, this is standard fare in some ways, guys, but is this the right moment for this, Bernard? 5 days before the midterm elections, they're already turning their attention to these folks 2 years away?
Yeah, Martha, I think the request makes perfect sense. Why? First, the American people know very little about most of those candidates, and look what's happening right now to the Tea Party candidates that sort of burst on the scene out of nowhere. The more people find out about these Tea Party candidates, the less they like them. And so I think that's contributed to the fact that the Republicans peaked way too early. Now, once the voters are seriously considering who's on the ballot, the luster starts to come off. Second, the best defense is a good offense. And these Freedom of Information Act requests are standard fare. And with the New Hampshire caucus and primary and Iowa caucuses only 15 months away, it is certainly not too early to start at all.
I guess we start to see Halloween decorations coming up around the end of summer these days, and this is the way things work now, Karen?
Yeah, so I guess apparently for President Obama, the best defense isn't actually governing. It's going after your enemies, creating that enemies list early on. But I think this is standard operating procedure for political committees. We all know that opposition research happens. The problem with the timing of this is that it comes out just as President Obama the narrative in Washington, D.C. is really feeding on the fact that he is always in campaign mode. He did an interview with Jon Stewart last night. Jon Stewart, who's certainly supportive of President Obama, even expressing his own disappointment in the president.
Yeah, well, it was a pretty, he gave the president some tough questions last night, Jon Stewart did, and it's no surprise that the president is trying to rally his base and try to get folks to turn out to vote. But, Bernard, let me get back to this Pentagon issue for a moment. I think that there are folks out there who would be surprised that, that our dollars are being used and dollars are being spent to investigate all these people. Is this really where we need to be putting our money? And is the Pentagon, is it right that they're carrying this out for this Freedom of Information Request Act?
Let's be clear. This is not any sort of investigation. This is simply a request to disclose communications between these individuals acting in their official capacity. The request doesn't cover them as private citizens. It covers them when they were actually in elected positions. This is the exact sort of approach the Republicans used for years. And in fact, the Republicans began requesting Freedom of Information Acts on Hillary Clinton in April 2006, a full 2.5 years before the election. I don't see anything wrong with this whatsoever.
I don't know if there's too much
frankly,
out there
Obama
that folks don't know about Hillary Clinton. She's been looked at very closely under lots of scrutiny for many years. Karen Hanratty, thank you very much. We've got some breaking news. We got to get back to you. Bernard Whitman, always good to see you guys. Thanks very much.